Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. Trying out something new, new style of video here, so let me know what you think. Is the MP5 obsolete? Is it still the king of personal defense weapons, or even very relevant in the personal protection space? Let's discuss. I'll be looking at size, both length and weight, as well as stopping power, sound signature, and ease of use, or ergonomics. Starting out with maybe the most important stat for a truck gun or PDW, we'll talk about size. My AP5 in its normal configuration with the brace extended and suppressor attached is 32 inches long and 26 inches with the brace collapsed. I could get my K model a little shorter than that, but I don't really enjoy the K, so I don't use it very often. In comparison, my current AR pistol build that I have sitting beside my bed at night is only 36 inches long with the brace extended. An extra 4 inches for what, in my opinion, is a lot more firepower sounds like a pretty fair trade. So I've been really thinking, since I've built up this last AR, is the MP5 very relevant? Now that we have a 5.56 gun that is really about the same size, it's lighter, right? With suppressor, both of these are suppressed. Both of them do have a stabilizing brace. I think they're very comparable firearms in a lot of ways. But is the MP5 still the best? And I would say maybe no. In terms of size, it's close. The AP5 does edge out the AR that I have set up, right? Surely you could go shorter with an AR, but the MP5 edges that out. The MP5 is also a good deal heavier, though. Body armor is so cheap these days and so available. In the tactical space, wearing a plate carrier with at least level 3 armor has become the norm, and 9mm just can't defeat these threats. Even in the late 80s, NATO realized this, and that led to the creation of the 5.7 and 4.6mm rounds. Good thing we have a cartridge that is very good at penetrating light armor and creating gnarly wound channels. The 5.56 is a great round with half a century worth of data to back it up. Even out of an 11.5, it's still very deadly. Lots of sources show a 55 grain projectile hitting 2,800 feet per second out of an 11.5. Not bad. Overall, a much better self-defense and small predator eliminating round than the 9mm. One thing the 9mm gets very right is sound and flash reduction. The 300 blackout gets close, but 5.56 guns simply cannot compete. Shooting a 147 grain sub out of my AP5 is Hollywood quiet. It's the gun that I use to convince my friends that they need to buy a suppressor. If you find yourself in a situation where you absolutely need to be quiet, then the MP5 is your go-to. Near zero sound, flash, or recoil. I'm definitely not the first guy to point out how bad the ergos on the MP5 are, and I won't be the last. I almost feel bad dogging on it because it's such an old platform and it was actually pretty good at the time it came out. But lacking a last round bolt hole fluid and no bolt release is pretty bad. I don't mind the paddle release, but compared to the AR platform, it just isn't even close. The safety isn't terrible, and once you break them in, they're pretty decent in my opinion, but everything on the AR is so intuitive. I think the MP5 definitely beats the AK platform and the M14 Min 14 in terms of ergos, but it's just not comparable to the AR platform. Lastly, price matters, and we aren't made of money. HK stuff costs an arm and a leg. Building a modern MP5 style PDW will easily set you back $3,000 or more after a brace and an optic. Whereas a decent short AR with an optic can be acquired for around $1,000 or less, depending on what you're looking for. And upgrading your AR is going to be far cheaper. HK mags, the only mags that I have found feed 100% reliably, are about $80 a pop, sometimes $65 on sale, compared to P mags, which are $10 to $20 for the AR, especially old Gen 2 P mags, which sometimes can be found for $5 to $10. Overall, I really like my AP5. It might be my favorite gun. It probably gets shot the most, and it gets the most attention at the range. It's reliable and fun, but you just can't compare an 86 Fiero to a 98 Firebird unless you only measure vibes. The MP5 had its time in the sun and will always hold a place in our hearts, but it just isn't the best in today's world for the PDW role. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new style of video. If you liked it, give it a like, give it a comment. If you didn't like it, then give it a dislike and a comment. Either way, I want to know if people like this or they don't like this, right? We have lots of content in the future. This was a little bit rushed. This is a proof of concept, right? That's why it's quick and short. But if you like this, I can make long, good videos, all right? So thanks for watching. Subscribe.